matchup between the Cleveland Browns and the Cincinnati Bengals. I'll be back at halftime to look at some of these stats and scores from Sunday's action. But for now, it's Monday Night Football. And to call the action, here are Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Coach, it's dreary and miserable throughout much of the Midwest, but we've got football to perk up our spirits. That's the good news. At Paul Brown Stadium, that's where we're at here in Cincinnati. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Cleveland Browns and the Cincinnati Bengals. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line. Here come the Bengals now to take over. They'll be led out by the former Texas Christian University Horned Frog, Andy Dalton.
And it felt like in watching the game tape, he got everyone involved last week.
He was a manager.
He really was. That's a great way to put it because they ran the ball some. They threw it accurately. One touchdown pass, so he didn't, break the bank doing that, but he didn't throw any interceptions. That's the bottom line. That's why a defense loves a quarterback like that. Doesn't
hit from behind, and he's going to be driven down. A bad start there. A big loss on their first play from scrimmage. It's second down.
We talked about prior to the game, and it played out right there on the first play, didn't it? This offensive line is going to have his hands full all night long.
Well, you often speak of scripts to start a game. Does this mean that play number 2, they're going to go off the script a little bit?
Yeah, what's interesting is that most people, when they script now, they actually script those contingencies in, okay, in case they can't run the play they want to. It's long distance now. Let's go to that play.
Third down, a shot here for Dalton. And the throw there going to be incomplete. Demarius Randall that time there to knock it free. So the defense able to get off the field here on third down.
And it's one of the goals of the game. They've got to be effective on passing downs. It's one of the few things defenses chart. How did we do on third down? That's a nice start for them in this one.
On fourth down, Matt Hawk to punt it away. Back deep, Jarvis Landry. And the win last week punted 4 times as this one's away. That's pulled in at the 32. And a 7-yard return following a punt of 45 yards. And the Browns will take over, 1st and 10. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. A first carry now for Nick Chubb. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on 1st down. And a peek now at the offense for Cleveland.
And they should come in pretty well rested because they had their open week last week. Ideally, all teams want to have that open week later in the year rather than this early. But you make do with what they give you. So you take the time off, rest up, heal up, and come in ready to play.
The first down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5. Throwing, Mayfield. He's going to fire this thing deep right. It's caught inside the 25. And he takes this just a few yards shy of the red zone before going out. A very nice pickup of 33 yards.
I know we love our jobs, and pretty much any play we see, we're pretty, excited about. But big plays, let's face it, that's what we absolutely live for. How about that one?
That was great. And what our camera missed was the fist pump from the sideline after that catch. They're fired out. That's a big game. Mayfield now looking to throw on 1st down. Going for it all. And that will be incomplete. Would have been a big hitter if they had connected. Instead, it's 2nd down. A look there at the defensive starters for Cincinnati. They played really well in the win over the Raiders a week ago.
And it was the pass rush that really keyed their victory. Got to the quarterback 6 times for sacks and plenty of other turbulence in the pocket for him as well.
They go with Chubb on 2nd down. And he'll be brought down inside the 20 at the 19. Call it a gain of 4, and it'll leave him with a 3rd down and 6 to go.
That second down play call was not to pick up the first down. It was to accomplish what they did, to get them into a manageable third down, because they had incompletion on first down, so they were behind the sticks, so to speak. They needed to make up some ground, and they did.
Point it right, point it right, point it right.
On third down, it's Nick Chubb. And he couldn't quite get there. Tackled down at the 1. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. A stop there on third. They could have held him to 3 on this opening drive. Now they have to bow their necks on 1st and goal.
And if I'm looking at this from the offense's point of view, that's a big-time pickup right there, and I'd go right at them with another momentum play. I'd go quickly and attack them, because right now they probably have their heads down a little bit since they didn't stop them on third down.
Trying to punch it in with Collins. And he'll barrel his way into the end zone for a Browns touchdown. Alex Collins, his 3rd touchdown now on the year, as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. This crew, they were on a roll going into the bye week that they just had, Charles, so sort of picking up where they left off. So with the missed PAT in his rearview mirror, he goes back out to kick this one off. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Now the Cincinnati offense ready to see what they can do here. And the last drive, the first drive for them, not very good. 3 and out. What do they go to here?
Well, you don't look down at your play sheet and say, this is what the problem is. Let's find out who my playmakers are. Get the ball in their hands, and maybe the offense will move a little bit better.
Sometimes it's more important to get it to the right people rather than dialing up the right number.
Exactly.
Or the right play, yeah.
That too.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9.
Man, I got you.
And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on, 3rd down. Time for a look at our starters here on defense. And this unit, very tough to throw against. Currently 2nd best in the NFL.
And since this is such a good unit at covering passes downfield, I think that last play is typical of what we might see. A lot of short passes, see if they can generate some run after the catch, but nothing doing on that one.
After an incomplete pass on 2nd down, that'll leave him trying to convert on 3rd and 9. Now Dalton, and he can't quite intercept it. Zone coverage, free safety was there. Couldn't come up with it, and now it's 4th down.
I think the punter might start to get into a pretty good rhythm here if he keeps getting opportunities. But that's the last thing his team wants to have happen, right? The last thing you want to see is your punter feeling pretty good because he's out there all the time.
Yeah, first quarter only, but they're 0 for 2 on 3rd down conversions to start this thing. Give him 11 yards that time on the return. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Heading out as the Cleveland offense now as they get set to take over here. So 1st and 10 now from the 30.
Point it right.
Mayfield on play action. Trying to lay one up deep. And that is incomplete. Showed off the arm strength there, but to no avail. 2nd down.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
He takes this from the 30 to the 34.
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain, considering the blitz that they just had against them.
180. Let's get some regular. Hey, box truck.
On third down, Mayfield. Well, he will not be able to hang on through the contact. It's incomplete. The coverage strong, and now it's fourth down. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning. Hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed, if there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces fourth down. Cincinnati now ready to take the field. They've had it twice. They've punted twice. Not the start they were hoping for.
Not at all, and let's face it, every facility we visit, everyone talks about converting on third down, how big that is. In this situation, they've had to punt it away twice, so they're furiously going over things on the sidelines. What do we need to do to pick up a first down and change our momentum?
Here's Dalton. That's complete into the hands of Carson. Just a 1-yard pickup on the play, and it'll bring up a second down.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
That catch good for 5. It's third down.
51's the mic. Come on, D!
Ready for the second quarter from Cincinnati. It's the Bengals with the football here. 6-0 our score after 1. And Eifert has it. And he takes this up to the 40-yard line before being corralled. It's a gain of 13, and the Bengals have a first down. Play fake. Here's Dalton. And he's taken to the ground, but he was pulled down by the face mask. Here come the flags. And I believe this is going to be a first down. Officials so cognizant of that call nowadays, but that one looked pretty easy.
Yeah, you're right. They took out of their hands having to wonder whether it's a 5-yard or a 15-yard inadvertent or not. Now, it's a lot easier. You see it, you call it.
They run it with Carson. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9. Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. Draw play. This is Carson. And they see right through that defensively as he'll be hit and taken down to the backfield. That'll wind up going for a loss of 4. And that'll make it 3rd and 13. On the delay, here's Carson. And the play goes nowhere. Losing yardage back near the 40 at the 39. Here's Matt Hawk now as he's on to punt for Cincinnati. And this is away. It's a high kick, and he got all of it. Now this is fielded in the end zone. So possession goes over here on the punt. And this offense is going to take over at their own 20-yard line. And now Cleveland geared up to take the field. And thus far, the weather has not slowed this offense down one bit. They've looked good so far in the first half.
They certainly have. And think back to our meeting with the head coach. And we asked him, because we saw the forecast for this game, didn't we? We said, hey, have you prepared for this? And he talked about the different drills that they've done in adverse conditions, the wet ball drills, things of that nature. He said, I don't think it's going to slow us down much. We tend to handle it pretty well, and he's been right.
Well, the first play of the drive lost 4. Now they'll look to move it forward here on 2nd and 14. Mayfield hands it off to Chubb. And from the 15, they're able to work this up to the 20 for a pickup of a handful.
And there's a run to be happy with. Good, solid yardage. He'll take that anytime you hand the ball to a back.
And it looks like we've got a dime set here defensively. 6 DBs in the game. Play fake. Mayfield. Oh, he almost had the rare interception. The big fella couldn't hang on, though. Incomplete. More problems here on third down. They've converted only once so far in this first half.
And you know as well as I do in this league, if you don't win on third down, it makes it hard to win a ball game because then you're relying on your defense, you're relying on your special teams. You've got to get it done with your offensive unit.
Now the Cincinnati offense ready to see what they can do here. The results for them so far not that great. Well, not good at all. 3 drives, 3 punts.
Yeah, and now what you're doing is you're looking at your play sheet. You're trying to figure out what you're going against defensively. I wonder, are they showing them something they haven't seen or anticipated in practice, and maybe that's throwing them off? Or do they just have to go to a different play calling section and try and run some offense that way?
No gain, and it's second down.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or two miss, but that window closed quickly. On second down, it's Carson, and he still has yet to get on track in this first half as they're going to stop him behind the line. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and that's going to lead to a 3rd and 11.
We think, Brandon, I like the intensity this defense is showing right here in these first few drives. They're not just holding the line because they're doing their job, but they're doing more than that, aren't they? They're getting a nice push into the offensive backfield.
And a great example right there for the loss on the tackle. A reminder coming up just a few minutes from now, we'll send you to Jonathan Coachman and our crew in Orlando. Coach will have a look back at some of the stats and scores from yesterday's action. And the catch good. It's Eifert. And he'll be brought down at the 34, well short of the first down marker.
So much about this game is just understanding situations and then having to execute, isn't it? Guard the first down sticks. Don't let them get there. And they rallied and made the tackle.
Landry now on the return. So a change of possession here on the punt. And out will come the offense as they take over. A look at the running back, the man out of the backfield as he gears up to go again. He only has a single solo carry, 1. Numero uno. Second quarter, they need to get in the ball more, don't they?
I'm not the greatest statistician in the world.
Yeah, you are.
But a back like that with only 1 carry kind of takes me back to college in the classroom. Not enough evidence to declare what you should do the rest of the game. Give him the ball some more and find out. Will they incorporate him? We'll find out. From the 22, here's 2nd and 8. Mayfield off the play fake. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Now the Bengals going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. Mayfield in this Browns offense staring at a 3rd and long now after the sack. 3rd and long for Mayfield. And he's got his man. That's Landry. He's got his first catch here before halftime, and it goes for a first down. Now the Browns will use the first of their 3 timeouts as the clock will stop with 33 seconds to go in the first half. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. Working out of the gun, Mayfield. Well, this is taken in. It's complete. And all the way in. Touchdown, Cleveland. Odell Beckham with touchdown number 8 on the year.
And the Browns are going to tack on to their advantage.
Well, if the plan is to come in here and go toe-to-toe with these guys, it certainly does not hurt if you hit them with a big shot along the way, too.
That's got to give them some confidence. And the other thing right now, it quiets this crowd, at least for the time being. Feeling the pressure here and taken down. A sack back at the 7.
Well, they tried to get 2 and ended up getting none because the quarterback had nowhere to go with the ball and ends up getting sacked.
Nowhere to go at all. Great job, though, defensively. They were ready. And as he approaches to kick it off, he might be thinking this could be a 14-0 lead with a couple of PATs as he sends this one away. This is fielded at the chalk of the 10. Then he'll take this across the 25, a couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. Time for Tyler Boyd and the rest of the offense to take over now. A chance maybe here for them to get him more involved. They're down here on the scoreboard, and he's been very quiet.
And the silence has been deafening for his team. They don't need that at all. They need fireworks. They need explosive plays. They need him touching the football in any way possible. Maybe go to some jet sweeps. Anything to get him going.
Yeah, something to get him the ball. We'll see if they can do it. The Bengals going to use the second of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 18 seconds to go in the first half. Now Dalton with a 1st and 10. This one grabbed by A.J. Green. Now the Bengals going to signal for their 3rd and final timeout as they'll stop it with 13 seconds to play in half number 1. 2nd and 5 after the 5-yard completion on 1st down. Here's Dalton. Got his man. It's Eifert. And he'll be brought down just shy of midfield at the 49-yard line. 7 yards there and a 1st down. So we come upon halftime in what's a 12-point game at the break. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much. Welcome in, everyone, to our EA Sports Halftime Report. Let's get you caught up on what's going on around the NFL. We'll begin up at legendary Lambeau Field in Green Bay, where it was the Packers who get the win at home. 38-14, the final score.
The second half upon us sooner than we bargained for. Week 7, second half. Let's do it. Forecast calling for more of the same. The rain set to continue as we are underway in the second half. This is taken at his 4. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line. Here's the Browns offense now getting set to start off this 3rd quarter. They built a good first half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Has had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice, because you're right, he struggled, especially in that first half.
Yeah, and I know the great ones always think to themselves, just hang in there. I'm just one big carry away from busting this open. That's a good start for him. They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. On second down now, it's Collins. And now timeout is whistled as it appears there's a Brown shaken up on the play. Well, he gets attended to. We'll step aside. They'll run for it. Here's Chubb. He's got the first down and more inside the 40. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Cleveland. Nick Chubb with a lucky number 13 touchdowns now on the year. And the Browns are going to tack on to their advantage. Always important to get the first score of the second half. Now you start to pull away a little bit and get some breathing room going.
And now we find out about the fortitude of the group that's behind, because they were counting on getting into the game a little bit more, right? Maybe they get the first score. That doesn't happen. It looks almost insurmountable, but it's not. Let's see how hard they play the rest of the game.
Only had a couple of yards to gain there on the two-point conversion, and they were able to do it.
And how many teams shy away from running the football in the two-point conversion? They treat 2 yards as if it were 20. If you're a good team running the ball, go to your strength. Go ahead and push it into the end zone.
Yeah, they did. It worked. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. So here are the Bengals now as they get their first possession of this second half. And their halftime hole now even deeper, and they need a big drive here just to answer the first touchdown of the second half scored against them.
They were down at the half. Now, as you mentioned, they're down a little bit bigger, but no time for discouragement. Just got to get back to it, right? Put your shoulder against the boulder and start pushing, and try and get back to where you were to start the half.
Now they're able to swarm him behind the line, and his rough night continues. Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, 2nd and 10. From the gun, Dalton looks to throw. Here's Carson with a catch out of the backfield. Give him 6 on the play, and it'll be 3rd down.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware, a ball may come your way.
These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off around the 37. And they have the football and will set up shop at the 33-yard line.
Okay, partner, no surprise to you. I'm going to look at this from the defensive perspective. In the rain, you have to be more cautious trying to cover passing routes. Why? The offense knows where they're going with the football. The receiver knows the route he's going to run. You have to make sure you keep your footing underneath you.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. Mayfield. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down.
That would have been a great catch, but it's real difficult to hold on to it because it was contested all the way. Would have been a great play if he'd been able to hold that one in.
2nd and 10 from the 33-yard line. Now Mayfield. And he's got the hook up to Landry. A good play there as the Browns strike for 16 and a 1st down. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful you're losing playing against a good quarterback like he is to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front, defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
Throwing again on 2nd and 10. Mayfield. And that's going to be caught for a Browns touchdown. Damian Ratley, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Browns are going to tack on to their advantage. And they use that height on the outside to get the score.
We've seen the evolution of the wide receivers. They've gotten taller and taller, but they've retained their quickness and their speed. It's a lethal combination.
Always good to have wide receivers with height. And oh, it's no good on the PAT, so they can't add on here. And our score is going to start. Now he's back out there to boom this one away, maybe with some frustration after the PAT miss. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Bengals getting set to go. They've got to dig down deep. I mean, they need something right now, really anything to cling on to. This offense has struggled.
Partner, join me in a walk to their locker room at the half, okay? Because I think what we would have seen is an offensive coordinator and his assistant coaches getting together with all their positions, then coming together as a group, going over adjustments, and then the head coach coming in and just screaming, "Wake up!"
Yeah.
Let's get moving, guys.
I'm kind of glad we weren't in there at halftime, actually.
I mean, you think you might have turned it on us, too?
Yeah, but right now, whatever was said hasn't been working. It's a Bengal first down, a pickup of 11.
Running lanes were at a premium in the first half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big second half.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10.
Here we go. Go, Mike 51, Mike 51.
Passing, it's Dalton. Throwing over the middle, but it's incomplete.
Let's face it, if you want to get back into the game, these are the kind of throws you got to hit. He's wide open right there. Got to be able to get it to him, don't you think?
And those are the throws that haven't been nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Myles Garrett in there for the sack, and it's an important one from a personal standpoint, as that is sack number 100 in what has certainly been a terrific career to this point. So the sack, and now it's 3rd and long for Dalton and the Bengals. Here's Carson. Just a 2-yard pickup, and that should necessitate a call for the punt team here on 4th down.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one, and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. Now Landry. Baker Mayfield leads the offense out for their next possession. And you think he personally is evaluating his game so far? He was pretty good in the first half, been good so far here in the 3rd quarter. He's got to like it, right?
Not looking for the dramatics here. Not trying to set the world on fire in terms of stats. It's almost like you're driving. Hands at 10 and 2, alert for anything out there, watching for trouble on the road, and making sure you get the team home.
The bus driver. See who can drive the bus here again on this drive. So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. And again, it's Chubb. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Browns touchdown. Nick Chubb with his 14th touchdown of the year, 2nd of the game, as his guys continue to put this one out of reach. He's been having a great game, and that one right there, his best run so far, and it ends with 6 points.
And not only that, in his mind, what is he thinking? Can I get to 200 yards as well? Because he knows he's closing in on it. He may not know the exact number, but the best runners have a feel of what the yardage is that they're compiling, and he knows that he's getting close to that 200-yard mark now.
Third time's the charm on the extra point as he gets this one to go. And the lead will swell by 1 more. It only took him 2 plays there to find the end zone. The last one, the long run, getting him in for 6 points. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Bengals offense now, they head back onto the field. And here we are almost through 3 quarters of play, and this passing game still has not really found any kind of rhythm.
Put it mildly, because they're not even over 100 yards yet. And in today's NFL, where it's a pass-first league, that is quite surprising. Not many teams patient enough to stick with the run. Everybody wants to advance the ball through the air. They've got to get their timing back.
That throw good for 4. It's 2nd down.
In so many ways, throwing the hitch route is actually one of the safer things an offense can do. Get the ball out to the receiver as fast as possible, hope he's got man-to-man coverage, and hope that his athleticism wins on the perimeter.
Now the 2nd down throw on target, and he'll go down, and that will do it for the 3rd quarter of action. 1 quarter remains here as we wrap up the week on a Monday night. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. Andy Dalton now, 5 straight completions here in this second half. 1st and 10.
Let's go, D. Tighten up.
Now it's Carson. And it's been like this all night long. Nowhere to run as they stop him behind the line. That's going to wind up a loss of a full 3 yards on first down.
Hands up to the team. Defense wins championships, baby. Hands up.
Now on 2nd and 13. Dalton. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. The defensive end, Danielle Hunter, drops him.
That right now, that's a defeated team out there. I think you can see it totally in their body language.
Hands on hips, heads low. It's just been a struggle from the start.
Yeah, this team.
And the pressure gets to him again. Myles Garrett in there for sack number 22 on the year. And, folks, that's just a half sack shy now of Michael Strahan's record of 22.5 set in 2001.
My man, it's been a rough night for that offensive line, and it's only getting rougher. 5 sacks now that they've given up in this contest so far. It feels like the witching hour out here, doesn't it?
Okay, stupid question. What's the witching hour?
Yeah, the witching hour. That's when everything goes haywire late at night.
Pulled in at the 24. Good blocking there, nearly sprung him. As it is, it'll go as a 19-yard return. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. And now the Browns coming out on the field. With this lead and the football, things obviously looking good, but maybe, you've taught me this before, maybe this is where the defense is hoping that the offense helps them preserve that shutout that they've got going.
And it has to be in the minds of the offense that they know how rare it is to get a shutout. So take care of them, protect them, take care of the ball, move it downfield, run the clock down. You don't want your defense to have to go on the field again the rest of the game. Reward them.
Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
Real. Hey, check.
On 2nd and 9, Mayfield. And this is going to wind up incomplete. The coverage there too strong on the deep ball, and now they face a 3rd down. 4th quarter, you've got the big lead. If you're coaching, Charles, you still taking shots like that downfield?
I'd be a little more concerned with running some clock and making sure you're taking care of the lead, because you keep flinging it around, you throw a couple of picks, you can put yourself in jeopardy.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
He finds Beckham complete. And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. A big pickup there, 20 yards as they convert on 4th. That's the number 2 receiver in the NFL in terms of yardage, and tell you what, a few more plays like that, he won't be number 2 for long.
Well, that's what often happens when you have competitors running around the field. These guys know where they stand in relationship to yardage, totals, numbers, the whole deal. And let's face it, all of them, they all want to be number 1.
A run for Nick Chubb. And for one of the first times tonight, he's going to be held up at the line of scrimmage. Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down.
Hey, alert! 51, my touch.
Throwing on 2nd down, Mayfield. He finds his target, Beckham. And all the way in, touchdown, Cleveland. Odell Beckham. His 2nd touchdown of the game and his 9th on the year as his guys continue to pour it on. So another score there, and often you talk about the 3 phases of the game. Defense, offense, special teams. It's been a clean sweep in this one, hasn't it?
It certainly has. They've been pretty dominant throughout this game. And privately, the head coach will add a 4th phase. That's the coaching. And he'll tell the ownership that as he tries to negotiate a new contract off of this win.
They are looking strong here in the 4th quarter. So the drive there took 6 plays, and it's capped off by the Browns' touchdown. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This is taken at his 4. And he nearly broke that for more, but as it is, they'll start this drive at about the 37-yard line. Cincinnati now ready to take the field.
And let's face it, this drive is not going to have any bearing on this game, but it's kind of important for one reason, isn't it?
It certainly is. You got to get points. And, okay, all right, I'm being facetious here, but you get points. You feel a little bit better about yourself as you move on to the next one.
They try and run on first down, but to no avail. Tackled for a 2-yard loss in the backfield.
I think it's pretty evident we can say what a difference a week makes. Last week, he ran pretty much wild, didn't he? Did pretty much what he wanted to do. But this one, they've stopped him cold. That, to me, that's good scouting and even better execution.
Yeah, and they stopped him behind the line right there. They obviously watched the tape a few times and made some adjustments.
So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. Under heavy pressure, and down goes Dalton on the sack. Larry Ogunjobi in for the sack.
This has been a tough one for this offensive line. It appears almost like they've been on roller skates this entire game, the way they've been pushed around. 6 sacks given up in this one.
So the sack, and now it's 3rd and long for Dalton and the Bengals. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So the Bengals in possession of the football here as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Throwing, Dalton caught, Eifert over the middle. They get a big amount back, 18 yards, but they'll still look at a 4th down now.
Boy, they had a lot of real estate to make up there, but what a big-time play for them. Nice completion, excellent game. Now they're in 4th and manageable.
Just a little short, though, with that marker. And Dalton to throw. And it is incomplete. They had to go for it with such little time remaining. And the Browns are going to get this thing back. Excellent field position. So they tried to go for it for pride, but it really wouldn't have mattered. This one, it was already determined.
No doubt about it. This one was over a while ago.
Beckham and the Browns set to take over again. And I know that they've double-teamed him a couple times, but not a ton. Whatever they're doing isn't working. He's up over 100 yards. We'll see how they adjust.
And when they do that, they weaken their defense in other places as well. And how many times have we done games where we've seen a guy have a big game like this? But it's usually not by himself, is it? Usually it opens it up for other people to have big games as well.
They're throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete. Jarvis Landry, the intended receiver, but it's going to be 2nd down. So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down. Well, the lead late in the 4th, but Mayfield's going to throw it. Going for the deep ball. And he almost intercepted it. They haven't picked a ball off yet. That probably should have been their first. And it's 3rd down now. So back-to-back incompletions, and that has them staring at a 3rd and 10. From the shotgun, it's Mayfield. And he gets it to his running back, Nick Chubb. And he'll get this only to about the 38 as they stop him a few yards shy of the line to gain. Give him 7 on the play, and that'll bring up 4th down.
Whether you're playing West Coast offense or not, one of the maxims of the West Coast offense is you're either throwing a touchdown or a check down. In other words, look for the big shot, but be smart. And I think they did exactly that on that play. They didn't get the 1st down, but they're taking care of the ball well.
Yeah, and being rightly cautious with that lead here in the 2nd half.
Run.
Running for it. Here's Chubb. Going absolutely nowhere. He'll wind up losing a yard or 2. Nick Chubb stops short, and the Bengals will get the football back. So they were really trying to put the nail in the coffin there already with this lead here in the 4th, but they didn't get it.
Guaranteed it's not going to be a front handshake in the postgame, right? You just know that there's going to be some bad blood there. And I know if we go to the postgame press conferences, the winning coach, you know what he's going to say, why he did it? We need the points, okay? Because you never know at the end of the year if points are going to come into the tiebreaker if we're trying to get into the playoffs. That's always the standard justification.
And he'll get it down to the 47 here. 7 yards there and a 1st down. So Cleveland able to come away with the victory here. And I tell you what, Charles, this might be about as good as it gets. They were incredible.
Yeah, offense was in fine form. The defense threw the shutout at them. I think they worked in concert together. What I like about the offense was they held the ball pretty well. You know, time of possession, exactly what they were looking for in this one, and that helped out their defense. Didn't have to be out there the entire time. So when you do that and you're out there fresh playing, off a little extra